friends. It's time for the best of 2025 wildlife video. On a cool day. But anyway, guys, it seems like this year's flew by. And these little animals have had a busy life this year. So this is the best of 2025 video clips of all the different little animals I've got. I've got 30 cameras average in these woods on this ridge. And I pulled them every week, and I show you the best of every week all year long. Now, when I pull these cameras and I have to empty these cards to pick out what I'm going to keep for a video, I'll get at a minimum of 2,000 video clips out of 30 cameras every week. And I'll condense them down to maybe 100, make a video out of it. But some of them are some really rare captures, and some of them you just don't see every day. I've learned a lot of stuff from these animals over time that I didn't even know out of all my life of being in these woods, of hunting and being in. Well, anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed these things. We even had an old bear come in here for about 5 or 6 weeks. He disappeared, but they'll be back. They always pass through. There's not enough food here to hold. Well, anyway, guys, you see the pond here? This is what the pond used to look like. Here's the way it looks like now. And unfortunately, that's just nature. Between earthquake, progress, them shooting the ground everywhere, something's moved to create a leak in this pond. It's just a sinkhole. It's not a made bad pond. Maybe it'll fill back up. Well, anyway, guys, so without any delay, let's get started on the little animal. Best of 2025. Well, here's a few of the best of 2025 out of so many captures on this ridge. Hope you enjoy. We'll start out with the bear. Now, it's been a few years since I had a bear come in here, but he come in here about the 1st of July, prowling around. But I know what he's doing. He's down here at the pond eating these blackberries. He's full of them. And he wore it out. So he stuck around for about 5 or 6 weeks. The blackberries run out. He started hitting the woods. But the acorns isn't out yet, so he didn't have really much to eat on. He didn't like my cameras. Here's one picture, and I'll stop it here. Looked like he had a deformed paw. But he moved on. Well, that's the bear in the ridge. But don't worry, they'll be back next year. And the birds is next. So many little birds. But this is the best captures of the birds that I picked out. There's a little old wood thrush. And he sounds so pretty, don't he? And there's a little old cardinal. They're here year-round. Beautiful. And the little old Carolina wren. They're here year-round. And here's the little titmouses. They're here year-round. And the little nuthatches. You hear them all the time in the video, in the background. And of course the old blue jays. They're noisy birds, but they're here year-round too. And a little red-headed woodpecker. Ain't he pretty? And a little downy woodpecker. So many woodpeckers in these woods. This is just what stepped in front of the cameras, the best of them anyway. And there's a little northern flicker, another pretty woodpecker. And here's the biggest of all the woodpeckers, a play-headed woodpecker. You hear him in the background. Ain't he beautiful? And the old other birds, the hawk. This looks like a Cooper hawk to me. Ain't he pretty? He sit up on the squirrel stump. Of course, we know what he's doing. He's looking for squirrels. But ain't he beautiful? He lives here year round too. The old squirrels better be careful. And at night, there's a little screech owl. They're rare to capture, right up on the stump. And here's the sound they make. And here's a little pretty one, a little pretty, beautiful little screech owl, but looks like he's blind in one eye. Nature lives hard here on the ridge. And here's the old hoot owl you hear all the time in the background. Big old birds, big ones, but they're beautiful. Now we next up the bobcats. I get a few captures here and there, but they're an elusive animal. But they come in front of the cameras every once in a while. I'll show you what I've got. I've had better pictures over the years, but this is what stepped down the cameras in 2025. Beautiful cat, ain't he? They're elusive. There's a spider crawling in front of the camera. And I catch them during the day every once in a while too. And here's a rare capture of a mommy and her babies. Baby bobcats, ain't they beautiful? Now the coons is next, the old raccoon. Now they're out during the day, mostly in the spring though, early summer, and marking the rock during the day. That's their marking post. And they everywhere. But when it gets real hot, they usually stay at night. And sometimes they get right in front of the cameras. The most smartest little animal in the woods. And they are curious, and they are into everything. Here's a family of coons. They had a good year this year, were young. And you could see, they're running everywhere. I call them the little rascals. And they in and out of the rock motel and everything else. Whatever mom shows them, they're into it. And they can get fat too. Old No-Tail here sitting, having the Christmas party. Next up's the old coyotes. They're a menace, but they live here, and there's nothing you can do about it. And they hunt these little animals day and night. You can see them. They check out these cameras too, thinking it's something to eat on. Even the little old young ones here, little pup. They out during the day too. They just following these animals around. They've got to eat. And that's just part of nature here on the ridge. They're here to stay. And they have deformities too. Here's one with the leg missing. Next up's the deer. We'll look at the does, the fawns, and the bucks. They do real good on this ridge. Little herd of does. Capture some good pictures of them just sitting around. They like to bed down on this ridge. And they move in front of the cameras. There's some beautiful little deer here. They move around in little herds. Here's a rare capture of Mommy in one of her ponds in a hailstorm. Don't know what to do they? Now the little ponds, they had a good year this year. They come in late, some of them did. And they get right in front of the camera too. Ain't they beautiful? Exploring a new world. Just show you the best little captures I've got. It's up on the ridge. A few weeks old right here. And they had a good year now. For this year is the three years in a row I've captured triplets. And they've done real good on this ridge. But you can't tell them apart. The triplets, the twins, singles. I thought about, well, I had a paint gun, I could mark them. I could tell the difference in them. And even at night, ain't they curious? Beautiful little animals. Here they are, really young, a little set of triplets. Mommy has to keep them safe. But they learn. They learn to run. They can survive. And they learn this ridge quick. Here it is again, that little pond in front in a hailstorm. Don't know what to do. First time. Well, there's the bucks. Good captures of the bucks this year. There's so many. I'll just pick out the best. Big old monsters. Which one was the dominant buck this year? Only they know. And I've caught them eating acorns right in front of the cameras so many times, moving back and forth. And some really nice ones too. Here's one making a scrape for the does. And here's a little fight, two young ones fighting, seriously fighting, going at it. One running the other off. Here's two big ones at the pond, but they ain't been going at it hard. But I catch a lot of this. Down at the pond, old big bucks just lay down in front of the cameras. And just have an easy time. Rare captures of this. I mean, some nice ones just sit down in front of the cameras, lay down. They feel safe. Of course, nobody hunts them. Ain't he beautiful? Beautiful buck. Here's one up on top of the ridge, first of the year. This is a rare capture. This is an old buck. He's seen some time. Looks like he's just wore out. He's seen better years like I have. But he's still there. These are rare captures of some of these deer and their habits. But I learned something new every year from these cameras. Ain't he beautiful? But he's seen some rough times. Well, there's the deer. Now next up's the old feral cats. This place seems like it's loaded with them at times. But they become part of the wildlife and the food chain too, so they better be careful. These coyotes and bobcats will take them out. But old Yaller, he's hung in there now for about 4 years. The one-eyed cat that thinks he's a bobcat. I've even tried to bring him home. Now here's an old cat that's hanging here this year, Smoke. And he's doing some hunting on the ridge. And there's Socks. Of course, I haven't seen Socks in a while, but that don't mean he's still not here. But old Yaller, I see him regularly. I can't catch him, though. I can't catch this cat. That one-eyed old cat. And there's one I called Tiger back in the summer. I ain't seen him in a while. He moving around. Here's one I haven't seen but one time. Little young cat. Must have moved on or the coyotes got him. Well, next up's the fox. There's a pair of foxes in this ridge. I've been trying to find their den when they're young. There's a red fox. But I can't find it. It's elusive. But there's some good captures of these foxes here. I call them Freddie and Betty. They're pretty, ain't they? And they work this ridge too. In teams. There's Freddie and Betty together at the rock. Doing some hunting. Next up, the most popular little old animal on the ridge, Dirty Dan. The groundhog. And he's so comical. He's out prowling around. Ain't he comical? And this is just a few of the many clips of old Dirty Dan during the year. Makes me laugh. He just goes about finding roots and grub. Certain trees, likes to eat bark, and he loves acorns too. But he's taking his nap right now. But he likes sunflower seeds too, I found out. Ain't he comical? He just comes and goes with the rest of these animals. Move, stop, and look. He better be looking. And up at the rock, he likes to take it easy. Looks like a big bear rug stretched out there, don't he? He likes to lay out on the patio here. Something wakes him up. And he's a good weatherman. He starts packing leaves, you can look out. There's cold weather on the way. And he works hard at it too. But he's taking his long winter nap right now. But he likes to say hi as he travels by. Old Dirty Dan. Next up, the old Possum. That's old Corkscrew there, that crooked tail. That's the reason I gave him that name. Looks like a corkscrew. And he loves bugs better than anything. But he'll eat acorns or anything he can if he has to. And he likes to pack leaves too. He'll push them back and wrap his tail around them and take him to his den, Rock Motel. And here's a rare glimpse of one carrying its babies on its back. Ain't that precious? Precious, rare captures. And even during the day, here's one hanging on for dear life as he's moving through, flying. Ain't that cute? Little possum hanging on to mommy. Yep, little old rabbits, they are here. You just don't see them every week. They're the most hunted little animal in these woods. The coyotes, the bobcat, and the foxes. Bless the little rabbits. And the skunks, they're here too, but they wasn't good here like they have been the last few years, but they're still here on the ridge. All different types. They all got different markings. They come and they go. Ain't that a beautiful skunk? Now there's old Flat Top. Got that flat top head on him. Ain't he beautiful? But he'll stand his ground against these little animals too. They don't dare mess with him. And he lives here year round. But sometimes these animals just don't step in front of the camera. It don't mean they're not here. There's so much ground for them to cover. Well, there's the old skunks. Now, up the most comical and relaxing to watch is the old squirrels. And they are relaxing. They work harder than any animal that I've ever seen. On the go all the time. Dusk till dawn. Dawn till dusk. It don't matter. And here's a rare glimpse, the first time of 20 years on this ridge. A fox squirrel. I'm glad to see him. Maybe I'll catch more captures this year of them. But the little squirrels, they work year round. And they'll find a nut if there's any in these woods. And they have a good time doing it too. Now, old Ricky here, he likes walnuts, but we didn't have a good year for walnuts this year. But he loves them when he can find them. They didn't last long this year. Maybe next year we'll have a better crop. But there's plenty of acorns. And the little old ground squirrels here, some of you call chipmunks, they work hard all the time too. And ain't they beautiful? Precious little things. And here's a rare glimpse of a blind squirrel. These woods are full of them. They just don't step in front of the camera. So there's the little old squirrels. There's so many captures of them. So many. Well, now here's the big birds. The big old turkeys. And these woods are full of them too. And they are beautiful birds. And they work these woods all the time. But right now, in the winter, they're mostly in the fields eating grass seed. But ain't they beautiful? The toms run around in their flock, and the hens run around in their flock. And they only intermix, I guess, in the spring. But ain't these some beautiful toms moving through? And they just browse all day long in these woods. They like bugs, worms, grubs, acorns, whatever they can get a hold of. And here at the pond, I've captured some rare glimpses of their chicks. They've had a good year this year. The Coyote didn't get them. And they growed up. This year I watched them on the cameras. Now here's a big old Tom strutting, but he didn't strut the right way. The only glimpse I got one strutting. He turned away instead of towards the camera. But ain't he beautiful? And last but not least, I've captured a couple of unknown captures here at the pond. Seems like in this spot there's always something weird going on. You see that? A little ball of light coming in the snow and hit down in the 20s. No bug, I don't know. I'm gonna reverse it here. See it go backwards. And I'll stop it. I don't know what that is. People say it's just an insect, but an insect that cold? No. And here's another one I captured just lately. That's either something breathing on the camera, or maybe a mushroom exploding, stepped on a ball or something, or I don't know what that is. Just a strange mist. Strange captures here at the pond from time to time, especially at this camera. And it's been here for years. So there you go. I've made videos on them if you want to go back and watch them. Well, there you go. There's the best of 2025 wildlife video clips as the ridge turns. I hope you've enjoyed them. And we'll see what shows up here next year. And the little animals, they come and they go. So thanks for watching. God bless. And I'll see you next time.